What's going on, YouTube? Well, we're gonna look at a car today and we're gonna build it. This is really neat. These are older releases, so these I guess came out overseas and they've been populating North America. They're online. This little set here, coffee, I guess this was like subscription maybe. I don't know if this was actually sold at a store, although a lot of people have them now. They're relatively inexpensive. Kyosho and DyDo. And I'm sure you overseas people probably know about these a little bit better than I would. I tried doing some research on these. I think these go back a while. The newest Ferrari they did in Series 1 is that 99 360. But this is my favorite car. Unofficially called the Ferrari Daytona. This is a 365. And this is a high spec one because it's a GTB slash 4. So this is a 4 cam 12 cylinder, but it still has 2 valves per cylinder, but it's a lot of horsepower. It's a 71 car, and cars, made big horsepower, weren't that fast. This car was light and had a lot of power. The Colombo V12, which went back many, many years, started I think under 2 liters. It's all the way to 4.4 liters on the 12 cylinder. 6 carbs with twin choke, so 6 2 barrels. And they could be Weber carbs or Solex carbs. They also made the high spec racing version. A lot of those had the open headlights. The early Daytonas, I guess, had open headlights, but they closed them like this for the North American market, I guess, for safety regulations. Still has a small bumper, of course. But look at this. I've been wanting one of these, and they're actually under 20 bucks now. You can find them. You just got to eBay these things. I live here in North America, so I tried looking for ones that were local. A lot of things, what's going on now with postage overseas, you either won't get your package or it takes an extended time. So I did order something from Japan probably in the springtime, and it still has not made it. Their postal service is closed. Look at this thing. It's really cool. We're going to open it up in a second, but and I was looking at this and I said, well, we can make a video because this won't take me long and we'll see the assembly process together. Hopefully that goes okay. So let's do our typical opening. I'm going to try to move this over here. Maybe this will look better like that. So we'll go in here and we'll just take this out. So we're just going to follow with the knife. I like leaving the card so it's not ripped open. And it seems like the instructions are on the underside of this car body. Supposedly this is typical Kyosho, meaning that die-cast body but plastic chassis. They still have great products. We looked at the Mercedes earlier. We had a Mercedes like that. A modern sedan that we looked at on the channel. I love the detail, but I love the Ferrari. Not a lot of small cars have Ferrari licensing nowadays, so it's funny that these are Ferraris and you still can get pretty cheap. I mean, they're all the great hits. Probably the next favorite car besides the Daytona. I love and this car is made from 68 to 73. They also had drop top cars, cabriolets. All these cars. This is a great car. That's really one of my favorites, the 250 LM. Yeah, all these cars. I mean, can you imagine? I love the classic Ferraris. So this here car, the 365 GTB 4 cam. After that, I went to like basically the mid-engine years for their high-spec sports cars. Even though this was like a 2-seater or 2+2, I can't remember, but we'll look at the interior in a second. These are like their sports car, touring car, GT cars. And then it went more to this style, and they really got into mid-engine vehicles. Of course, this car, the 575, that was another front engine, but a lot of the middleweights were mid-engine by that time in the 70s, so pretty cool. Look at the interior. Yeah, so it is a 2-seat car. This actually has good detail. The Ferrari seats, the way they upholster those seats, I mean, this would look good. You can kind of pick your own color and paint this. I'll probably do that later. They had that 3-spoke steering wheel. This car was cool. It had a transaxle. It had a 5-speed in the back. Look how simple the chassis is. So 5-speed would be back here, and then you'd have the engine up front. The spec car, the bigger 12-cylinder, this had dry sump lubrication, but they also came with wet sump, and it was a lot of oil. Oil is part of the cooling system, really, on Ferraris. They had water cooling, but so anyway, 17 quarts or 16 liters or something like that, something crazy amount of oil that you put in these cars. And it was a 4-liter car, 3 to 4 liters, you know. Most cars like that size, you know, that 5 quarts of oil. So this is metal body. Look how cool this looks. Closed headlight version in the classic red. I got a little bit naughty and I ordered a black one, so we might do the black one too, but you could see why everybody thinks of this car as so special. I mean, it's really quite the best, one of the best. Pininfarina and then Scaglietti made the bodies, so I mean, the best of the best. Alright, so we got the Ferrari alloys, so we'll take those out real quick, and we got some screws, and this girl should go together. I have another screwdriver. This one looks painful. I mean, that's set for like a baby hands. I thought that was funny. But maybe you will need a baby's touch when you put it together. We'll see. So, let's see. So we see if I don't cut myself on camera. Done it long enough. Let's see. So I like this. If I do this right, the parts won't go flying. And, you know, you keep track of most things. The other thing is try to have a sharp blade and be steady. So I'm going to leave it like this, and we'll just open it like this. So here's our tires. Here's our... let's see. Let's see if the rims will pop out. They look a little bit tighter, so what we'll do is let's remove the plastic. Alright. Probably going to have to pop them out. So what you do is, this is kind of like Johnny Lightning. This is a tire. And then you put the rest of the wheel on top, and it prevents it from going like that. So here we go. We should be able to separate this carefully. Just sits on pins. This is all friction fit. You don't need to glue this car up. What's nice is all the stuff on the outside on this car is already applied. And what we'll do is we'll microfiber this car when we're done. But let's do this now. Let's pretend we're on the assembly line. Let's make sure there's no fingerprints in there. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that a fine car? Let's take a look real quick. Wow. I love this body style. Can you imagine rolling the gears on this? Ferraris are known for those shifters. 12-cylinder, fully mechanical. That's why I own a couple old motorcycles, because they have individual carbs for the cylinders, and they're all, you know, points ignition, and just a battery and a rectifier stator in your car, and you know, just runs. So you can kind of get that mechanical feel that these cars were. Sort of in a very tiny scale, but you get to work on it, tune it, you know, take your screwdriver in your pocket while you're riding. It's fun. Alright, so it's really pretty. Let's see what this looks like assembled. So we have the chassis. So all we gotta do is let's pop these axles in. It seems like sometimes you gotta watch it, the rear or the front might have a wider axle, but these seem to be identical to each other. And the other nice thing about these Kyoshos is you could see there's no play. Once that axle's in there, it doesn't slide back and forth. Alright, let's see if we can get these out. We might have to use the... Actually, let's do this. Let's pop these out this way. Use my... There's no flash. I brought over my... Wow, those are really in there. Huh. Let's do it this way. There's always a tool for the job. You know what I mean? Here we go. I have a micro screwdriver. I think this will work. So it seems to be pinching it. Let's take a look. So I think you just got to watch it. Now, this is plastic. let's see. We don't want to, definitely don't want to scratch them. You know how plastic chrome goes. Let's try this way. Maybe we'll do this way. See what that does. Interesting. There we go. Just kind of got to give them the old one too. They pop out. Let's see. There we go. Again, be careful. Don't mar the chrome. Alright, so this doesn't really have to be shown, but these are soft rubber, so you just want to push them in. Suspense is killing me. Let's see what this looks like. I feel like with rubber tires, if you have some sort of nail left on your fingers, like some people don't always, but I try to, because there's quite a big shoulder on that wheel. If you fit this in here, see if the camera picks it up, you can kind of pull the tire back with your thumbnail without putting too much pressure on everything. They look pretty good. They're very chrome. I mean, they wouldn't be chrome in real life. What you can do is, I've done this with model kits, is a lot of people strip chrome because it looks too bright and fake. I actually have clear paint to lacquer, and instead of it being a gloss coat, it's a dull coat, and it lays like a clear wood, an aerosol clear wood. When you're doing a model kit, you know, you want to put a gloss top coat on. Well, this puts a flat coat in for chrome, and you just really got to be very conservative with the application, but you just kind of give it a squirt, so to speak, and it'll flatten that down. And I'll probably get that done next camera. If we get that black Ferrari here, I'll show you what the wheels look like. And basically it'll turn them into like a metal alloy, like an aluminum, like that kind of feel, where they're not highly chromed out like this. Because the wheels are good. It has a tall shoulder on the tire. Tires are much taller and narrower in the 60s and 70s. But this will do pretty good. They're still kind of fat looking compared to what we got. Makes for a pretty good setup. We finally got it done. Alright, let's finish it up. So we'll just put this down here and let them drop in, and then we just make sure this is oriented correctly. Looks like this is the front of the car, or the kick up is the back. And I gotta look at this. Make sure your pins are aligned. Squeeze it together. They should make huge cars to put together like this, like 1/25th scale and 1/18, and just let you go at it. So the car sits kind of high. Let me look at this here real quick. And I can fix that. They do have recesses for the posts. There's a post, and you can see this. So let's see if it's actually sitting in there correctly. If not, we won't take too much more time. It seems to be flush. I don't have to put the screws in yet because actually it's pretty tight. So let's just see how the car looks and do a little walk around. So, you know, again, full licensing, so we get the correct sized Ferrari badge and all that, and the small bumpers. This is a cool car. Yeah, this could be adjusted, I'd say. I could adjust this car. I mean, they sat high in real life. They weren't like low like today's cars. Probably not that high. But that's okay. The body's great. You don't really have too many 1/64 scale cars of this caliber. So, very excited to have this. Look at this thing. It's cool. It looks good. All that horsepower. I think it was like 300 something, upper threes maybe. Fast car, under 6 seconds. It would do 170 something miles an hour for the street version. Of course, the competition one with its lightened body and aerodynamics went faster. It had better tune. I think they did 3 or 4 states of tune on that car, but it was very limited. I only think they made 13 or something like that of race cars of this car. Majority of them were road cars. Does roll nicely. I think this is a great addition to the collection, and hope you enjoyed it. Little model building today. We got more to come, so I do have a little bit of green light backlog, and we got some Auto World. And then we got a surprise 1/18th scale that we got, so stay tuned. But thanks for watching, all your wonderful comments and subscriptions. I really appreciate it. Hope everybody's staying safe out there, and till next time, more to come.